grew up in Pineland. Couple of groupies to fit with. I know turbulence vibing. I know turbulence you niggas hiding. Flying while you niggas flying. Your kindness suited up sliding. Your kindness come something new when I'm driving. Jumping off the roof, no ceiling. Got a skyline view when I'm riding.
Gang, what's popping with y'all out there, man? Welcome back to Let's Talk Everything 414 podcast. Y'all already know what up with me. Yes, y'all do. Y'all already know what up, man. Let me make sure everything is everything. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stepping into the building. Besides all the stuff we've been getting into, like the war in Iran, the AI. It was crazy though, that AI shit, how they're trying to make that man give up his rights to his company. That's totally crazy if you ask me. But at the end of the day, I feel like knowing what SPACEX is up to, you feel me, is one of the craziest things too. And I got a video today about that, gang. So, I want to take a dive through this video and we're going to pick it apart together. We're going to pick it apart together. We're going to see what's up.
It will be humanity's second home, our first outpost away from the shelter of the earth, and a construction project that will cement our future as a multi-planet species. SpaceX is determined to make this vision a reality, but it's going to require more than just ambition and big rockets to colonize Mars. The biggest thing that would set a Mars city apart from some other off-world colony like a moon base, for example, is this idea of being self-sustaining. You see, a person living on the moon could still return to the Earth as often as they like. There's only about 1 day of travel time between the two, and likewise, that would mean that any resources the people of the moon might require from Earth would be within easy reach at all times.
Well, right away, that tells me shit. They plan on, moving a lot of people to the moon, if not already have done that. I remember there was a time they was asking everybody, hey, yo, do y'all want to take a trip to the moon? And y'all can even move up there. And I also remember a time, on Fox 6 News. I know a lot of people don't watch the news out there. Now I don't either. But they was, asking people, do they want to work for SpaceX? Do they want to get hired for SpaceX? And at that moment, it was crazy. You feel me? Because I'm like, damn, is they really doing this? You know what I'm saying? They really doing this? But they was, it wasn't no joke. It wasn't no joke about that at all. Let's continue though. I have to turn up my volume, man.
Mars is a different story. Now we are looking at 8 months of travel time one way from Earth. This could be improved in the future with nuclear propulsion systems, but even if that works out as good as can be expected, the trip to Mars would still be around 45 days. That means the people of...
That's a long time, gang. I ain't gonna lie. A trip to Mars is 45 days. I wouldn't be trying to go to Mars. 45 days. What we gonna do on this goddamn spaceship for 45 days exactly?
Mars cannot be dependent on the resources of Earth. They have to learn to harvest everything that the red planet has to offer, and what it has is really not much. But that will drive the creation of a massive industry on Mars to extract those resources and transform them into the necessities of human life.
Hey, allegedly, I done heard they already got a colony of SpaceX, Space Force Army people out there on Mars, and they running shit. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the legend, and I'm putting the fan to the heart. But let's keep going with this video because I want to know why, what's the whole purpose, and why is the rush? Definitely behind us, preparing to go to war with China behind this Iran shit, because I know China mad. They upset about that oil. So
that one day the ships from Earth will just stop. Whatever the reason for that might be, support from our homeworld will come to an end and humanity will continue on from our second planet. This is going to require around 1 million people or more to be living and thriving in a Martian city before anything goes wrong on Earth. So that means we need to build deep roots on Mars, both figuratively and literally.
So that means they need 1 million, you know what I'm saying? Like 1 million or more people already out there that's embedded on Mars. God damn it. They say, yeah, we can get it done, but at the end of the day, We need 1 million of y'all already out there. We need, some people already living out there before anything can take place on Earth. And that's crazy as hell because, like I told y'all before, these people make plans,
First,
20 years ahead of time, like war plans. They make plans to take over continents. They make plans to take over land 20 years ahead of time. So you got to understand they're making a plan for humans to live outside of Earth, or as they call it, a second planet. You understand what I'm saying? Like, shit, who's to say we ain't already got a third and a fourth planet already?
there were robots. The planet Mars will be inhabited by dozens, maybe hundreds of robots before any person ever sets foot there. And when we do get there, we'll be following in the footsteps of this thing, Optimus, the Tesla bot. It's probably not a coincidence.
That already shows us Optimus will be out there. The Tesla bot will already be out there. You understand what I'm saying? They already got the plans for this. Now, if y'all can recall, or if y'all do y'all studies on Elon Musk, he has been so fascinated with getting out there, getting out there to Mars. And I don't know why, you feel me? I really don't know why. I wonder if he is fascinated as the government is. Maybe so, but at the end of the day, they already telling us that the goddamn Optimus robot will be out there. The Tesla robot will be out there. You feel me? Before anybody or anything can pop up, quote unquote, allegedly.
Since that a sister company of SPACEX is making the exact technology that they're going to need to start building on Mars. Optimus is a fully autonomous AI-powered humanoid, and it's designed to take over any job that is currently done by people. But on the flip side of that, Optimus could also begin doing a job that will eventually be taken over by a person, like a Mars colonist, for example. The thing about Mars is that
they got the colonized groups out there already. Remember, I just told y'all that. You hear me? I just told y'all that. You heard a remote viewer speak about it on the Mavericks podcast. If y'all don't know who that is, go check them out. You feel me? They got a great podcast. You feel me? I did a video about them. But yeah, if Optimus got to be, later on controlled in the future by a humanoid colonized group, then what that tells y'all they are already out there. The plans that they telling us, the things that they are showing us right now, my nigga, they already done. They've been. This is why a lot of times I be telling people, like, gang, if y'all pay attention and keep up with what's taking place around you, how everything is shaping around you, then you will understand, like, look, these people ain't playing. They moving at a rapid pace. They showed y'all that with the bomb in Iran. They showed y'all that how rapidly fast they are moving, and how fast the technology is going. You understand what I'm saying? So, respect it or check it, gang.
It's too far away and too inhospitable to simply launch a crew of human beings out onto the frontier and let them fend for themselves. It may have worked for the Europeans colonizing the New World, but the journey to Mars will be by far the most dangerous migration that humankind has ever experienced. The surface of Mars is colder than Antarctica. It's drier than the Sahara Desert, but with even bigger dust storms, and the atmosphere is so thin that liquid can't even exist. There's just not enough pressure to hold it together. So what you get is instant.
I'm sure they got something for that. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't be taking this trip for nothing. I'm positive they already got something for that. You feel me? I understand that it might be the most dangerous trip for human beings to take, but I guarantee you that they already got some type of technology, some type of reinforced technology to, you feel me, guide us through this trip to Mars, if that's the case. You feel me? Who's to say they haven't already been out there to Mars? The way Elon talked, the way all these rich billionaires talk, the way all these companies talk, I think they might have already been out there.
Evaporation. People are mostly liquid, so outside of a pressure suit on Mars, you would instantly start to freeze, boil, and suffocate all at the
same time. See that movie right there, Total Recall, that was already showing us, look, what would take place if a human was to go out there to Mars. They already showed us right here in the movie, and I think that's also letting us know that, we already tried with humans. We already tried to send humans out there to Mars, and they failed. You feel me? And this is one of the, the epic fails. We're going to show y'all in the movie how it took place. Y'all got to pay attention. They already showing it. You feel me? Behind these wars and behind everything that is fueling on right now, that is, taking place right now, it shows us a lot. It gives us a full background scale of what's taking place and what could be and what probably ain't gonna be, you feel me, in the future. So, like, just pay attention, man. Make sure y'all waking up out there take the message in this video, gang, that I'm dropping for y'all. Make sure y'all share this video. Hit that like button also.
At the same time. And even if you did stay safe inside your suit, you're still likely to get a heavy dose of radiation. The lack of atmosphere out there means that there's almost nothing separating the Martian surface from the colossal nuclear reactor in space that we call our sun. This is why SpaceX has already made their plan to launch the first ships to Mars with Optimus robots on board. Optimistically, this could happen as early as 2026.
Look, so if they already got plans to launch these robots out there with the materials that these robots are wrapped in, don't y'all know that they can take the same material from these robots and wrap it around a human being? They can take these same materials from these robots, these Optimus robots, and wrap them around a human being spacesuit now. If they haven't already tried that, and get everybody out there. You feel me? I'm sure they have tried that with a crew. They done got the crew out there fully. You understand what I'm saying? With this type of technology, with this type of advanced technology, as they call it. And I guarantee you that they done touched on Mars already. They done touched probably even farther than Mars. Allegedly. We're going to keep it allegedly. But at the end of the day, I'm not finna, bite my tongue and say, hey, yo, I don't think they able to do this. I know they able to. For the simple fact that they can create the technology, that they can create the material in general. And, that alone tells us, look, they already been doing this shit, gang. They already been doing this shit. Like the video I told y'all and I showed y'all last night about them, how they running up on the Anthropics CEO. They like, dude, we need your shit. You got to give us the right to your shit, or we're going to shut you down. We're going to give you a chain supply risk. You understand what I'm saying? And behind that, ain't nothing nobody can do. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. I ain't forgot about y'all. I see y'all out there. You feel me? Y'all already know when I'm in tune to the goddamn story. I be so in tune, I ain't gonna lie, because this information got to get out there. You got to hit that like button, everybody. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Hit that like button. You feel me? Spread this message. Hit that like button. Hey, shout out to everybody in the comment section. Shout out to everybody that's watching.
Space has a roadmap that shows 5 Starship landers heading to Mars, each one loaded with 10 tons of payload. Now, the only real goal of that first transit will be to land at least one ship without crashing. That's why they want to send more than one at a time, because there will probably be a learning curve. One of the things we know about SpaceX is that they learn through trial and error, and oftentimes that means stuff blows up at first, but once they get it right, they're able to launch.
He said stuff blows up at first, like when Elon had that rocket blew up, and Mark Zuckerberg was mad as hell, and he made that tweet about it. He's like, God damn it, I done paid them to, you feel me, throw my satellite in the air, and they blew it up. You feel me? Now they got to pay for the damages and the cost, which they do. But like, dude, it's crazy how these rich billionaires really think and feel about each other. You understand what I'm saying? Not even giving each other a chance. Like, look, this shit gonna happen, man. It's life. You gotta understand that. Shit like this gonna happen, gang. Shit gonna blow up. Y'all got the money to replace it. You got the money to build another satellite. Stop playing, Mark Zuckerberg.
Keep executing very consistently. So, assuming that one ship lands safely and releases a handful of Optimus robots into the Martian landscape, they're still not going to have a whole lot to do until the next wave arrives. 2 years after the first successful landing is when the first real colonial fleet arrives. 20 Starship landers, each carrying 75 tons of cargo, most of which is going to be infrastructure for the first people to arrive. Now, let's talk.
Now that's deep. Now they plan on building the infrastructure already after the first little group of robots land. You understand what I'm saying? They tight. They feel, look, we're gonna send 20 star ships, you feel me? 20 star landing ships, and we're gonna let them motherfuckers drop, and it's gonna be our infrastructure. We got payloads full of shit to build everything we need over here so the people can live over here. Now that's crazy. Now who would have thought in a million years that these people would have been creating this type of shit? You feel me? With this type of technology, all behind our eyes, behind the closed doors, they have been doing these things. But it makes me wonder some things.
Where this Mars colony is going to be located. SpaceX has already identified the Arcadia region as a prime candidate for settlement. This is just northeast of the volcano Olympus Mons, the tallest mountain in the entire solar system. Arcadia is a flat plain that's close to the equator, yet still believed to contain large deposits of water ice, which is going to be the single most important resource on Mars for a couple of reasons. When we talk about the infrastructure that the Optimus robots are going to be building for their future human comrades, there are two critical machines that they need to get up and running. One is a water treatment plant. People need to drink, but water is really heavy. Just bringing enough of it to keep everyone alive on the 8-month journey from Earth to Mars is going to be a challenge. And that already...
That's crazy. They already planning on bringing the water up there to Mars so they can keep everybody alive, gang. And they already saying that's a challenge, but at the end of the day, they telling y'all that they know they can do it. You feel me? But my question was, why are they rushing to get everybody up off of planet Earth? What's going on? What's really taking place? What makes me, wonder is like, is something really going on? Is y'all into it? Was somebody y'all into it with some motherfucking outer spacers? Y'all into it with some people, you feel me, who we do not want to see face to face, and y'all scared that they probably or possibly can come here and take over Earth? They making the motherfucking move off of Earth. What's going on?
Involves using a lot of recycled water, but there are only so many times that you can turn last night's pee into this morning's coffee. Now, the cool thing about water is that it...
Hey, and that was the rawest way they could say it. There's only so many times you could turn last night's pee into this morning's coffee. Last night's pee into this morning's coffee. That's deep, gang. You feel me? They talking about recycled water, so they got to keep, or they got to dig up, or... I'm going to be real with y'all. I bet they already got recycled water. I bet they already got jugs and tons and fucking warehouses full of this shit already. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The way America looking like they work, you feel me? Now that everything is being unleashed and all these files coming out and everybody talking and spitting and whistleblowers coming out, I guarantee you they already got storages and warehouses of this shit stored.
Can serve many purposes beyond just hydration. For example, you can break water apart into two base elements, oxygen and hydrogen. So as part of the same process that converts ice into drinkable water, our robot scouts can also produce oxygen for future colonists to breathe. Then there's hydrogen, not particularly useful for human consumption, but very important for making rocket fuel. Now here's something to consider in the long run. Signing up to be a Mars colonist is probably going to involve a one-way ticket to the red planet, but
signing up to become a Mars colonist. You feel me? Shit, to me, that sounds like signing up for draft. That sounds like signing up for war. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, people don't know how that trip gonna go to Mars. They want you to sign up to be a Mars colonist, to be one of the first groups to go to Mars. Now, that's some scary shit, gang. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I mean, it depends on what type of situation or what type of event is taking place on planet Earth. Because like I said, I really want to know why is they in a rush to get out of town. And that's what I call out of town to me. You know, we leaving Earth. So if we leave Earth, that's out of town, gang. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. But why are they trying to rush to get out? You feel me? What? Come on.
Short term, before we have a big, awesome city for everyone to live in, people are going to want a return trip. And just like with water, rocket fuel is very heavy. Just bringing enough of it to last the journey and land on Mars will be difficult, which means there won't be fuel left over to launch a second time and come all the way back to Earth. So a second big infrastructure project for the Optimus bots is going to be constructing a rocket fuel production plant. Now, there are some rockets that burn pure hydrogen as their fuel source, but it's not a popular choice because hydrogen is a very difficult element to work with.
I mean, for real though, how many of y'all would really go to Mars? Like, for real, how many of y'all would really go to Mars? How many of y'all would be scared to go to Mars? You feel me? How many of y'all would be like, fuck, I know? Because honestly, I don't know, like, you know, if everything goes swell and due to the fact he already stated it in the first beginning of this goddamn segment, he said shit, SPACEX, they usually blow shit up. You know, it's gonna take a couple times. So what if on the launch, as they launch in the first group of people to Mars, gang, it blows up? You understand what I'm saying? And everybody fucking die and shit like that. Like, they think that shit would be a joke or something? I don't know. I think, right, ain't no punchline of that. I think that, you know, they got to rethink this shit. And I think that they are moving ahead with these plans without the civilians' input. And honestly, I could tell you they don't give a fuck, because behind that little scene with the Anthropic CEO, how they was telling him, look, you got to give us the rights and full free reign over your goddamn AI machine, because we want to weaponize that motherfucker and make it one of our weapons. We want to utilize that motherfucker and go blow some shit up. We want to create it and make it fine shit for us. We want to make it tell us everything about these options that we have. You feel me? And dude was like, no. So, you know, he told them, look, we're going to put y'all out of business. Simple as that. We're going to put y'all out of business. And once we do that, what y'all going to do? You know? So this right here, making this big ass move without the civilians, without the people of planet Earth decision, you feel me? All they gonna do is give you a choice. Hey, yo, look, you want to go to the red planet, or you want to stay your ass here and get devoured when all this bullshit get the you know, going south and everything like that? What you want to do? So at the end of the day, they're gonna have the choice left on us. And what would you do?
It's very prone to weird chemical reactions and is extremely hard to contain because it's the lightest element in the universe. That is why SpaceX chooses methane as their fuel for Starship. It's hydrogen with a little bit of carbon mixed in. 1 carbon atom for every 4 hydrogen atoms, and that carbon just helps to stabilize the mixture and weigh it down enough to make this whole process a lot easier. And we know hydrogen comes from water, but carbon will come out of thin air, literally. What little atmosphere Mars does have is mostly carbon dioxide, so a carbon capture device would be able to extract the necessary atoms from the air. You get carbon to make methane and some bonus oxygen for people to breathe. Now, in order to support the new robotic manufacturing industry on Mars, there's going to need to be a mining operation as well. The water ice that we are going to need is located under the ground. That means we need to dig it up. And again, probably not by coincidence, SpaceX is going to have access to some boring technology from another sister company. Now,
so they already got this mapped out, man. They got this mapped out. They know what they want to do, and they already know what they was finna do before they even told us, look, we finna make this move to the red planet, or we finna make this move to the moon. And it also sounds like to me that they already got 2 planets that they thinking of. You feel me? They want to either do the moon or they want to do the red planet. If y'all paying attention to the video, that's what it sounds like. So if that's what it is, I mean, what choice do people have? I think they're going to colonize people up on these goddamn spaceships and send their ass to both places. You understand what I'm saying? And start utilizing the outer space as another place to live. I don't think they're just going to find one planet to live on. No. I think once we get there, we're going to also find out it was other species living there. You feel me? Definitely if they already got a blueprint. This is basically the fucking blueprint to living on Mars. They got the blueprint. They already told you where they're going to get the water from is inside the ground, inside the Mars ground. Like they already know. They know what the atmosphere consists of. They know how to change everything on the atmosphere into oxygen that's breathable for the humans that's going to be up there.
A full-scale tunneling machine is not going to be practical for early construction on Mars, but taking that same design and scaling it down into a Martian mining rig is going to start unlocking those resources that make it possible
Martian
for
mining rig, meaning they probably have Martians enslaved. That's what that means. The Martian mining rig, man, y'all gonna have Martians enslaved. Y'all gonna have Martians probably that y'all already got up there allegedly, but y'all gonna have their ass doing the mining for y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't think it's gonna be the humans. I don't think it's gonna be the colonized humans up there. The humans ain't gonna be Martians up there at the end of the day. The humans coming to a Martian planet. You understand what I'm saying? Like literally. So make this shit make sense, man.
To survive and eventually create a sustainable colony. As a bonus, all of the soil and rock that they dig up while mining can be processed into a kind of asphalt and used to lay down hard surfaces for roads and landing pads. And that is where we end up about 2 years after our first large-scale robot landing.
Told y'all, they already got a blueprint. He said that's where we end up 2 years after the small-scale robot landing. After the robot land, they already got the motherfucking blueprint to they're gonna pave the roads, they're gonna pave the streets. They probably already got the motherfucking street signs that they're gonna put in there. You understand what I'm saying? And they probably already got the street signs. At the end of the day, this shows you how serious this country is, or how serious these big elite motherfuckers are with all the money. That show you how serious they is. Like, look, we getting the fuck out of here. You know, that should scare everybody around the world, because that shows you, look, they done utilize Earth until they can't no more. They didn't utilize Mother Earth until it is nothing else left to use from Mother Earth. And now they want to run. They run it almost as if, like, look, they either know another war coming, a war that we can't, you know what I'm saying, be able to bear and withstand. And after the war happened, they probably got to ship everybody off this motherfucker, or they planning, you feel me, to move to Mars and the moon. Like, yo, look, we done upset some motherfucking aliens out there. They finna come take over the Earth, man. That's what they planning. Like, he said, this is 2 years after we land, they already got plans to build roads, street signs, schools, libraries on Mars. Like, what the fuck?
This could be as early as the year 2030. There's nothing wrong with a little optimism from time to time.
Year 2030, is that why Elon Musk been saying be optimistic about the future? That's why, man, that makes sense. He said be very optimistic about the future, because he said this could take place by the year 2030. That means shit is finna rapidly happen. Between 2026 and 2030, gang, we are expected to see some of the most extravagant shit, some of the most catastrophic shit happening and taking place on planet Earth. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like to me. And it sounds like they don't want to really let the public know. You feel me? So they got people like me, people like other podcasters, to let y'all know, look, this shit is finna get real wild. This shit finna get real wicked. I think I want to say this too. I want to say that, you know, maybe this could be the reason why he was saying, you feel me, we finna get rid of the job thing. We finna make a universal budget. A universal budget, my nigga. Wait, that means we possibly be leaving off planet Earth. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think anybody understand that like I do. I think, you know, I'm starting to get it, gang. I'm starting to understand.
And now it's time for the first people to arrive on Mars as part of this massive Starship fleet with 100 landers, each carrying 150 tons of cargo. There are going to be 2 new construction projects that need to begin once the first human settlers arrive. One is a power plant. Up until now, the robots have only needed enough electricity to recharge their batteries. Something that could
now, you know, like he said, they're gonna start putting the humans up there, and the humans, they're gonna start building the other shit. And it sounds like to me the people that they send, and look what they say, gang.
Easily be handled by a few solar panels. New construction projects that need to be 50 tons of cargo.
So 150 tons of cargo could be 150 people each, 100 landers. You feel me? Correct? But it sounds like those people are going to be the builders, those main, you know, dynamic duo builders of the infrastructure on Mars. That's what it sounds like. He just said that. Look.
There are going to be 2 new construction projects that need to begin once the first human settlers arrive. One is a power plant. Up until now, the robots have only needed enough electricity to recharge their batteries, something that could easily be handled by a few solar panels. But now that people are here, their energy needs are going to be much higher. So once the power plant is ready, all of the infrastructure that the robots have been building gets turned on. Life support.
So that means by the time the humans get up there, all of the infrastructure that the robots, the Tesla robots, when they get up there, that they've been building for the last 2 years, they're going to be ready to get turned on. You feel me? They're going to be ready to run by a generator. You understand what I'm saying? Now, mind you, all this can take place by 2030. That's what they said. They plan on it taking place by 2030. Like I said, what is the rush? What's really taking place? What is y'all really hiding from the public? What are y'all not really telling us? Help us understand this shit, gang. Y'all just running. Y'all trying to leave Earth for what? Like, what are y'all not telling us?
Systems that provide oxygen, water, heat, and air pressure need to run 24/7.
Now you look, hey, I hate to stop it again, but this gonna let me know something too. This gonna also let me know how they've been running things on planet Earth, how they had control over gravity, air, oxygen, and all those things. Definitely, if y'all can just go up there and revamp everything like it is planet Earth itself. You feel me? And they showed us this shit in movies, man. We've seen movies where they had to leave planet Earth and they had to go to a new planet, and everybody adapted accordingly. You understand what I'm saying? Now that's crazy. You understand what I'm saying?
Length of 1 day on Mars is almost exactly the same as a day on Earth, which means that every 12 hours or so, it's going to get dark. And that means
So they picked a planet that's exactly like Earth. They said on Mars, one day on Mars is exactly like one day on Earth. So every 12 hours it's just going to get dark. You feel me? They knew what they was doing. They was paying attention. They've been mapping this out for years, gang. Like I told y'all, the government that we live in, the government that control this world we live in, they already make plans 20 years ahead of time. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think that, oh, look, they just created this goddamn plan. Everything is just now unfolding. No. It's not, motherfucker. You thought it was, but it's not. Literally, it's not.
Panels need to be hooked up to batteries. Big ones. By now, we can probably say it's not a coincidence that Tesla has been manufacturing large battery storage systems that they call the Megapack. You can fit a couple of these inside of a Starship lander, and just one Megapack can power a small town for a couple of hours. So keeping a small...
One Tesla Megapack battery can power a small town for a couple of hours. So Tesla, you feel me? Elon and the rest of the motherfuckers at Tesla, they putting that big money into these things. They putting big money into these, you feel me, inventions, into these creations. And at the end of the day, a lot of us are not paying attention because they got us distracted by everything else that's taking place around you. Everything else, all the noise, all the drama, all the bullshit, all the mishaps. You understand what I'm saying? So pay attention, gang.
Mars colony alive overnight is actually more than doable. But people also need homes on Mars. The advantage of the Starship lander with its gigantic size is that it can continue to provide adequate shelter for people long after they touch down on Mars. So there's no rush to move out. But Starship is also not an ideal long-term home. It's very tall and narrow.
Getting like the video game. This shit is getting like that one game, that Far Cry game, gang. It's getting exactly like Far Cry. You know what I'm saying? Once y'all land out there and y'all wake up after they ship y'all out, y'all land on a new planet or wherever y'all go, you feel me? Shit get weird. And then you start looking like, damn, hold on, I'm in a new environment, I'm in a new scene, a new setting. I gotta adapt. Yeah. And I think this is where all that jogging and all that exercise and shit come in. Y'all remember when we used to ask, like, damn, why all them white people jogging on the lake? I stay in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't know where y'all stay at, but up here, a lot of people, they jog, white people. They stay jogging winter, summer, spring, fall. You feel me? And at the end of the day, we be looking. The black people ride past like, what the hell? What's really going on? Why they stay exercising all year round? What the fuck is they preparing for? They've been doing this shit for years, y'all up here. I ain't gonna lie. And I always was waiting on the punchline behind the joke. Like, but now we see.
And you have to take an elevator every time to get in or out.
That's just like the fucking video game. That's just like the game, gang. Let's go back, look. That's like the game. On the game.
All and narrow.
You feel me? It's on Xbox, PlayStation 5. You gotta get on your spaceship and off your spaceship. You need the elevator. And you go to different planets. You feel me? Y'all traverse the different planets. Y'all chasing motherfuckers. Y'all traversing across the universe. Like, gang, it's crazy. They already put the video games and movies, they show everything, man. If y'all are video game players, if you are a movie watcher, they show everything, man. Make sure you pay attention. They show you everything. They put all the hints and gems and keys inside the goddamn movie and video games every time.
Starship is also not an ideal long-term home. It's very tall and narrow, and you have to take an elevator every time to get in or out. So now people and Optimus bots work together to build the first permanent habitat on Mars. These habitats can take many forms. The first one that comes to mind for most people is going to be a big glass dome. And that's maybe something we can figure out a lot further down the line of city construction, but for the first Martian homestead, that's just way too hard. For example, we don't build a lot of giant glass domes on Earth, but the closest thing ever made to a sci-fi Mars city would be the Singapore Airport Nature Dome. This covers 135,000 square meters of internal.
I think a lot of things they was building on Earth was to, you feel me, put themselves to the test. See what can be created, see what can be built. You feel me? See what can stand the test of time. At the end of the day, you know, they not wrong, but you know, I still have that same question. What the hell was they preparing for? What was they preparing for? You know, what was our government preparing for that they did not want to tell us about? what could it have been? You understand what I'm saying? I understand that's a lot of things that y'all don't want to know. You feel me? I got a homeboy, you always say, look, man, don't nobody want to hear this right now. Shit, I do. I know I do. I want to know what's taking place around me. I don't give a fuck about what y'all want to hear. I want to know what's taking place around me. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what they building. I want to know how far they finna take us. You feel me? What's the next step or the next concept or event to adapt to? You feel me? So it is a must that we watch, and it is a must that we build ourselves. Because lately, shit, black people, the black culture gang, if anything was to take place, the black community would be fucked up. We lazy, we fat, we out of shape. We don't want to do nothing. We don't want to run. You feel me? We can't build each other. We hate each other. We always hating on each other. You understand what I'm saying? We don't want to let the next person get to the top, even if they smarter than us. We don't want to let them show us the way. Like, gang, black people are so far behind. They know that. They know black people so far behind. So in this race to keep up, you feel me? Definitely, if we get to a new planet, gang, we will be behind. We will be the losers.
Space, and the structure itself weighs 3,500 tons, which would be at least 350 Starship loads of material just to build one dome, plus all of the construction machinery you would need on Mars to actually assemble something of this size.
Right.
Now, we can build domes. We just have to think more about working with the natural environment of Mars. Right. For example, we can make an ice dome. It's an idea that's currently being studied by NASA's Langley Research Center, and it takes advantage of the natural insulating power of water. This is the same reason why Inuit people in the north make igloos. Frozen water will keep heat in, but just as important on Mars, it's going to keep radiation out. You see, water is actually one of the best shields against deadly radiation from the sun. The ice dome begins with an inflatable donut-shaped module at its base. Then a solid mold for the dome shape goes up around that, and finally, autonomous robots would fill the dome with water ice sourced from the Martian surface. The ice would be translucent enough to allow natural light to shine through, which is going to benefit the natural sleep cycle and mental health of people living inside. This makes the ice dome ideal for a house, but it might lack the versatility required for bigger and more diverse infrastructure like research labs and factories. So keeping the inflatable module at the core, which is something that we can make on Earth in pretty much any shape and size we might need, and then fairly easily ship to Mars in a single rocket, then we just need a more versatile material to cover it over and provide that extra strength in a solid shell. Again, we need to take advantage of local resources. So if ice mining operations are going to keep progressing as humans arrive, then we're going to end up with plenty of rock that gets dug up along the way to finding that ice, which we can then turn around. And
now y'all better pay attention to what they saying, because I know half of y'all ain't paying attention out there again. What they telling y'all is some true shit, some true information. And I think a lot of people are already scared of this type of information. You feel me? They already scared of this type of information. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This ain't gonna be no long live, no. But I had to tap in with y'all and let y'all understand and know, like, look, what's taking place before y'all, what's taking place at hand. You feel me? And a lot of y'all don't really pay attention to it. You don't really be trying to dive into, you know, the notion of now, you know, the understanding of, hey, yo, look, check this out. This is what's taking place. So to be on Mars, is that something you want to do? Is that something you really want to do? Is that something one of y'all really want to, you feel me, adventure? Would you want to put yourself there? Would you want to, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, if there's something extra that's taking place on planet Earth, then hell yeah. If there's something that's going on that we should know about, and you know, they already denied Congress the goddamn information about the aliens, the UAPs and all that. They already denying them about the information about outer space and so many more things that we don't even know about just yet. Again. I don't want to stay here and wait around to see what's going to take place. Hell no, my nigga. If they got the goddamn gems and the keys and the Jews to what to do, then shit, we're going to follow them. We're going to get the fuck out of here. We're going to, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to take our smart ass. We're going to learn something. We're going to invest, have it the best we can right now. Do what you can, get things that'll help you, get things that'll grow you, you and your family. Start investing in those things. Start picking up on those things. Y'all already see what's taking place with Iran. You feel me? So right now is the time to start learning more knowledge, start trying to grow your family, start teaching them how to survive, start teaching them little survival skills, techniques, talents. You feel me? Like little don't even worry about coding, because they already said they got the bots out there for that. Coding and engineering is on the phone. They're picking a job. You understand what I'm saying? So now it's back to the basics. It's back to learning us. It's back to learning the passion. It's back to learning what we can do and what we can't do. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't know, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I love y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all take care, stay safe, stay out the way. I am out, man. Keep your eyes open.
Man, you bitch niggas better ante up or elevate. I need 6-figure money, won't have the bucks and hella cake. Fuck boy, I been on dummy, shooting hella ops, make them a day. If not him, then kill his mama, make him feel his wrath in the hell away. Hydro shock with his eye, make through his chest, watch as they swim away. I don't stop shooting till you die in your last breath, and then I skid away. This a hollow tip.